Good evening, I'm Stephanie Seacos. It's Friday, August 14th. This is CTV News at 6. Tonight, adjourned again. A bail hearing for a man accused of making a bomb threat in Halifax is put over for a third time. Then hitting the brakes, the traffic calming measures popping up on residential streets across the region.
A very pleasant weekend ahead for the Maritimes, then expect showers to return through the first part of next week.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 6. Here is Stephanie Seacos.
Thanks for joining us. Todd Battis is off tonight. The bail hearing for a man accused of making a bomb threat against the U.S. consulate in Halifax was adjourned today for a third time. The incident earlier this week prompted widespread evacuations in downtown Halifax before the accused was charged. A bail bid for the man accused of making a bomb threat in Halifax has been delayed again.
The issue is that it's an ongoing investigation, and it's a complex investigation.
54-year-old Ali Asakara was charged Tuesday with uttering threats and public mischief after police allege he parked his vehicle near the U.S. consulate with a propane tank and flammable liquids inside on Monday. Police evacuated part of downtown Halifax while the bomb squad investigated the vehicle. The accused legal aid lawyer says it's unclear whether more charges will be laid against his client.
For me, it's difficult because if there's more charges, the goalposts are moving, and it's difficult to know what a court would consider appropriate bail. So quite possible that there are new charges next Wednesday, and again, not in a position to constructively deal with bail.
Originally from Iran, his lawyer couldn't say how long his client has lived in Halifax. The accused remains in custody with his next court appearance scheduled for Wednesday.
He is, I would say, somewhat frustrated with the situation, but understands the circumstances, and I've had no difficulty talking to him about what we need to accomplish and getting his cooperation.
Police in New Brunswick are investigating the suspicious deaths of two senior men in Knowlesville, a community about 100 kilometers northwest of Fredericton. Police responded to the sudden deaths at a Knowlesville Road residence just before 10 Wednesday night. They found a 68-year-old man and a 74-year-old man dead. According to police, the two men knew each other, though they did not say how. Police did say there's no threat to public safety. A man is dead following a single vehicle crash in Cape Breton. It happened last night just before 9 o'clock on Highway 105 near Kelly's Mountain. Police say the driver left the road, landed in a ditch, and the car caught on fire. The driver, an 81-year-old man from Ontario, was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Two Halifax area beaches are under swimming advisories with a sunny weekend in the forecast. CTV's Brianne Foley explains why a bacteria is causing a disturbance to ocean access.
On a sunny day like this, Rainbow Haven Beach is usually packed, but thanks to high levels of bacteria, an advisory is in place.
Called enterococci, and we test for that as a measure of water quality. Not rare, it exists out there, but in the quantities that we tested, it's not acceptable, and so we issue a swimming advisory.
Both Rainbow Haven and Lawrencetown beaches are impacted by this bacteria.
This bacteria, in the quantity it's in, if you swallow it, it can create flu-like symptoms, diarrhea, vomiting, and in small infants and young people, it can be quite serious.
Suzanne Riendu is hoping a weekend beach barbecue would generate business.
My business is called Halisi Cafe. I started it 5 years ago. I'm not going to make profit that I was hoping, but I'm coming back tomorrow.
But the rare occurrence wasn't stopping people from using the beach.
It could have been an anomaly. The first one that we've had closed this summer at our saltwater beaches.
With some cautious beachgoers being careful, but still stepping in the ocean.
We're just going in up to our knees as long as we don't ingest it. Like, I don't really see huge deal.
We've retested already, and we're hoping by Monday that we should reopen, but we have to wait on the test results.
Though the advisories are likely to be in place at Lawrencetown Beach and Rainbow Haven Beach throughout the weekend, luckily there are other ocean beach options around. Dion suggests if you are looking to hit the surf, head over to Martinique. And of course, if you're looking for the vibes of Rainbow Haven, well, nothing like Crystal Crescent or Queensland beaches. Steph?
Thanks, Brianne. CTV's Brianne Foley reporting from Lawrencetown Beach in East Lawrencetown, Nova Scotia. It has been another dry summer in parts of the Maritimes. For some farmers, it's a tough blow after a challenging growing season last year. CTV's Avery McCrae has more.
We've got fields here that we cut earlier and they're not coming back.
Joseph Upshaw finds himself in a spot many New Brunswick farmers are in. The crops aren't growing like they once were.
It's getting dry and we don't have enough water reservoirs and water tables aren't full. It's hitting harder this year, I think, in a lot of ways than it was last year.
With over 200 animals to care for on his homestead, Upshaw says a second straight summer of drought-like conditions is a challenge. His hay fields are not giving as much product, putting him about 1,000 bales behind what he needs to get through the year.
Anything that did not get any inputs last year or this year is terrible. They're down 60%.
New Brunswick saw less than half of their average rainfall in July, and nearly half of the province is reporting abnormally dry conditions. The Hammond River in the southern half of the province is reporting lower than normal levels, which is heating up the water.
We've documented water temperatures upwards of 27 degrees. So anything above 20 degrees can really start to cause stress on the fish. So we recommend that if you are angling, not to play your fish too much, to reel them in, bring them in, and release them as safely and as quickly as possible.
While drought-like conditions persist, it has not resulted in another above-average wildfire season in New Brunswick. There have been 338 fires to date, which have burned a total of 482 hectares, compared to 3,400 hectares last year.
We're in drought conditions, so it only takes a day or two for hazard to creep up. Meaning like a warm, sort of windy day, it dries out the grasses and things easily ignite.
The province updates their burning restrictions daily at 2 p.m. Avery McCrae, CTV News, St. John.
There's a live look this evening at Lockport, Nova Scotia, where it's currently 22 degrees. Let's get our first look at the weather forecast, and for that we go to CTV meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell. And of course, dealing with those drought conditions through much of New Brunswick. We did see some rain, though, popping up in the last day or so. And even, I know you've mentioned we're going to have a nice weekend ahead, but there is more rain on the way.
Yeah. I mean, that's a benefit of getting sort of the unsettled conditions that we had both yesterday and today in the Maritimes. We do pick up some rain from these areas of broken showers and few thunderstorms. Speaking of the thunderstorms, a little piece of good news there as we're making our way through the evening. The remaining severe thunderstorm watches have now come to an end. Monitoring these on radar that continues to show signs that they're beginning to weaken and dissipate, and that is expected because it was a combination of daytime heating today and a low pressure system sitting to the northeast of us that triggered that thunderstorm activity. So now we're losing that daytime heating. We're losing a big ingredient in that mix, and so the thunderstorm's beginning to come to an end there. Here's what's left, though, on radar. There's still some scattered showers and the occasional small thunderstorm around, and it's mostly in a band that's extending from northern eastern areas of New Brunswick all the way down towards southern parts of the province. Does look like Fredericton is going to have a little bit of a shower move through. And then in central areas of Nova Scotia, where a couple of brief showers have just passed through the Halifax area. There was a couple strikes of lightning with those. And then up in Cape Breton, still some shower activity ongoing. What's left of that, though, is going to be coming to an end as we move through this evening. If you're headed out for evening plans, temperatures right now are mostly in the high teens and low 20s. Humidity levels aren't overly high, so humidex isn't a big issue, and that's going to remain the case as we make our way through the weekend. Dew point temperatures mostly expected to be in the low teens this weekend. That's a comfortable level. Winds just a little bit breezy out of the northwest right now, and then a clearing sky tonight will give us a sunny start to the weekend, and I will have more on that when I'm back later on. Stephanie.
Thanks, Ken. We'll see you in about 15 minutes for that full forecast. And on our website tonight, you can read about the latest appointments to the Order of Nova Scotia, including the late Dr. John Ham, the province's 25th Premier. For more, visit our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Halifax is already short of ice time availability, and now that the Halifax Forum is slated for demolition, a local hockey organization is warning the loss of 2 ice pads will impact minor hockey development in the region. CTV's Jesse Thomas has more.
The sign outside the Halifax Forum signals the next step in a redevelopment plan that has been years in the making, and that includes a wrecking ball. An application is to demolish the nearly century-old historic Twin Pad Arena and Community Centre and build a new one. But ice time is already at such a premium that organizations are fighting for what's available.
Now we have teams that don't have practice ice. We have teams that share practice ice. The city did their own study in 2025, and it reported that there was a 136-hour deficit of primetime ice time for youth sports.
Losing both ice surfaces for 3 to 4 years while construction is underway will put enormous pressure on user groups. They've set up a petition to stop their redevelopment.
The city did their own study in 2025, and it reported that there was a 136-hour deficit of primetime ice time for youth sports. So when the Forum closes their doors for 3 or 4 years, it's going to be over 200 hours. And
Boyce says the city should consider a 4-pad arena somewhere else and keep the Forum operating until that facility is built, and then demolish and sell the land to help pay for the new arena. It's a similar idea to what Mayor Andy Fillmore has floated, but the Halifax Forum Community Association, who managed the facility, says the Forum is already on life support.
Can't keep the Forum open for another 3 or 4 years that the Hawks are suggesting. It is on its last leg. It is past its life cycle.
Card says the location of the Forum matters, especially as the neighborhood is expected to see a housing boom with 10,000 units being built as part of the Yonge Street District development.
Well, I can't think of anything more important than recreation and community space that people need when there's a growing city.
Mayor Andy Fillmore has told CTV News he'd like to see the municipality sell off the land and build a new arena elsewhere and use that money to help pay for it. Fillmore believes at nearly $130 million, the price tag is just too high, and that they could build a cheaper facility somewhere else and potentially add another ice pad as well. But that's just an idea. No formal plan has been brought to council. The Halifax Forum Community Association says they can no longer put off the construction of a new arena. The current plan, unless council changes its mind, is to build a new facility here behind me. Steph?
Thanks, Jesse. CTV's Jesse Thomas reporting in Halifax. Drivers across the region may be hitting the brakes more on residential streets this summer, with an array of so-called traffic calming measures popping up. As CTV's Nick Moore reports, a lot of it is being fueled by neighborhood demand.
Anthony Gallant had an up-close view this afternoon of how a new speed bump was working in this east side neighborhood of St. John.
They're all slowing down. And
This is technically described as a speed cushion, but whatever it's called, Gallant says it's both welcomed and needed because people are driving through here way too fast.
oh, absolutely. You know, they just go up and down here. I got the kids over here playing in this big field most of the time. But the balls come down onto the road, right? And they're going up here about, 80, 90.
New speed cushions in St. John have been added on Champlain Drive, Mountain Drive, and Kennebecasis Drive over the last few days. The city says calls from the public for traffic calming measures in their neighborhood have jumped 400% over the last 5 years compared to the previous 4-year period.
Well, it will definitely make the neighborhood safer.
Linda Dwyer did not ask for a speed cushion herself, but says if it slows drivers down, she's all for it.
It is mostly younger people that have a new car and they want to try it out with loud mufflers and that type of thing. So, but there are people that go fast, that's for sure.
The city of Fredericton has been busy installing new traffic calming measures around the capital this summer as well. Moncton has a pilot program running for so-called traffic buttons, described as a roundabout with a 4-way stop. Rumble strips on highways are becoming more common on local streets, and more municipalities have become keen to drop the traditional residential speed limit of 50 in some areas down to 40. The city of St. John says speed cushions have been shown to cut the risk of a vehicle collision by nearly 30%.
Oh yeah, they use this place like a drag race.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, they're flying up and down here, and you could be standing here and nobody stops for the crosswalk, so best thing they ever did.
The city of St. John says speed cushions will be popping up soon on Hawthorne Avenue. Nick Moore, CTV News, St. John.
Last Friday, we told you about a sudden closure of a community center in southern New Brunswick. Today, much to the delight of many of its members, it reopened. CTV's Derek Haggett explains why.
The sign says it all. The parking lot was full, people were in the pool, and laps were being taken on the walking track. After almost a full week, the Nutrient Civic Center in Sussex opened its doors again this morning.
Every day last week, it echoed. There was 5 people here at any given time, and it just had no life. And this morning, it was full of life, so it was wonderful to come into.
Members returning to the center and their routine were thrilled.
A lot of happy faces today. Compared with last week, a lot of happy faces.
The center was forced to close last Saturday because funding shortfalls meant payroll couldn't be met. Funding comes from the King's Regional Service Commission, who has a contract with the town of Sussex and 3 neighboring rural communities. According to McFarlane, the funding shortfall was a miscommunication over a payment schedule that has since been sorted out.
That's what I'm going to call it. I don't think there was any malice intended with the RSC not giving us our full payment.
Many members are seniors, and not having access to the facility was a blow to their daily routine.
This is their big thing of the day for some of them, and they need it, and everyone needs it, young and old. But yeah, no, I don't want to see this place go at all.
I come about twice a week. And to me, the Civic Centre keeps people out of hospitals.
Well, it's for everybody that's got heart trouble to come here all the time, and, you know, swimming and kids, and just everybody. Sussex would be lost without it.
With the issue resolved and with some donations from the community, the center now has sufficient funds to pay employees and keep the lights on, at least for now. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Sussex, New Brunswick.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
People around the Maritimes will be marking National Acadian Day tomorrow. Ahead of that celebration, a flag-raising ceremony was held in downtown Halifax this afternoon. Since 1881, Acadians have celebrated their culture and heritage on August 15th. Community festivals and family events have been taking place all week and will run through this weekend. Time for a short break. Still to come, thunderstorms will come to an end in the region tonight. Kaylin will have those details. But next, guilty plea.
Mangione attempted to send a public message through violence, but the message that emerges today is very different.
The man who gunned down the CEO of United Healthcare on a street in New York 2 years ago was in court today as the victim's family looked on. That story is next.
This is the Campfire Conditions Report, brought to you by Pine Acres RV, where customers become friends. Good news for the province of New Brunswick. You are currently allowed to have a campfire. In the province of Nova Scotia, most counties are permitted to have a campfire between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. There are some exceptions. Annapolis, Kings, Digby, Queens, Shelburne, Cumberland, and Colchester counties, there you're only allowed to have a campfire between 7 p.m. and 8 a.m. And for Prince Edward Island, campfires are currently allowed with domestic brush burning between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. Remember to keep fires small and under control and never leave a campfire unattended.
Luigi Mangione, the man charged with gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York City street 2 years ago, pleaded guilty to federal charges in Manhattan today as Thompson's family looked on. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest following the dramatic plea hearing.
The man accused of brazenly shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York City street in 2024 has pled guilty to 2 federal stalking charges. Luigi Mangione told a judge he posed as an investor contacting United Healthcare to find out where its annual conference would be. NBC's Sam Brock was in the courtroom.
He talks about the fact that he had a 3D gun, which he printed outside of New York City and brought with him to New York. Luigi Mangione says, "I shot Mr. Thompson in December with the intent to kill him." You heard him say those words in cold blood.
Several members of Thompson's family were in the courtroom as well as Mangione confessed, the judge making sure the 28-year-old understood what he was agreeing to.
She also said you're not allowed to withdraw this. Once you plead guilty, that's it, there's finality. Do you still plead guilty? And there was a brief pause of about 5 seconds, and he said, yes, I plead guilty.
Mangione's attorneys afterward trying to explain his motive.
He endured years of severe, debilitating pain following a broken back while struggling to navigate our health care and health insurance systems. He believed that the system had failed him and destroyed his life.
They filed a motion to have separate New York State charges dropped, arguing Mangione can't be tried twice for the same crime.
So now it's going to be up to a judge to say, all right, does double jeopardy actually apply here or not? The answer to that is anything but straightforward.
While sentencing guidelines indicate Mangione should serve about 25 to 30 years in prison, federal prosecutors say they will push for a life sentence.
Mangione attempted to send a public message through violence, but the message that emerges today is very different. Violence is not a legitimate instrument to promote any political or social message.
Sentencing is set for December 18th. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Still to come, a nice weekend is shaping up. Kaylin Mitchell returns with the full forecast next. We saw a beautiful day around Halifax today. It was warm, it was sunny, but that wasn't really the case elsewhere in the region. You know, chatting with my mom today, she was saying up west in PEI, they were getting thunderstorms and rain, like just lots of heavy rain coming down. So we were fortunate where we were in Halifax to have this nice weather today after some of those dicier conditions the last day or so.
Yeah, now Halifax did catch just a few showers over the last hour. That was the tail end of that stuff that your mother noticed in Prince Edward Island with those thunderstorms that certainly were booming around PEI, especially through the late morning hours, and other parts of the Maritimes getting into them after that. Let's take a look at what's ahead of us, though, and I want to begin by taking a look at the benefit of these type of weather systems for us here in the Maritimes. And of course, certainly a benefit, and we talked about this earlier, with some abnormally dry conditions in the province of New Brunswick, is the rain that they bring in. The only issue with these type of weather systems when it comes to the rain is it's not really evenly distributed. It does come in pockets, especially the higher rainfall totals. This is from the thunderstorms and downpours that were present yesterday. It does not include the additional rain for today, but yesterday you could see many locations only picked up maybe around a few millimeters of rain. But then where there was a heavier thunderstorm, like for example around Windsor in Nova Scotia, 50 millimeters reported there, and 30 millimeters at New Glasgow, and 22 millimeters at Bayfield and Prince Edward Island, but only trace amounts at Charlottetown. Now, the other benefit of getting these type of weather systems is, as they move through, they knock down humidity and they break up those long sort of extended stretches of very muggy weather we can get into in the summertime. Remember, we just got through one of those last week and into the past weekend and the start of this week. And as we make our way through the upcoming weekend, this area of high pressure is going to keep humidity levels at a comfortable stage around the Maritime region. They will see a little bit of an increase Monday into Tuesday at the approach of a low pressure system and some increase in cloudiness and eventually some showers for the region. But as that low passes through, there's another front that's going to be moving in behind it, and that will once again bring those humidex levels lower. So here's the trend over the next several days. Comfortable through the weekend. It rises a little bit Monday to Tuesday with the passage of that low pressure system and the showers it will bring in. And then the trailing front in behind it starts to bring humidity levels back down as we make our way past the middle part of next week. So because of that pattern, it doesn't look like we're going to see a return of an extended stretch of very muggy conditions. Remaining showers in the Maritimes for this evening continue to wind down as we make our way towards midnight. The overnight conditions either clear or clearing. And then it's sunshine in the forecast from Saturday from start to finish. Very clear conditions expected Saturday evening and night. And then Sunday, a fair weather mix of sun and cloud. Winds for tonight and for tomorrow, mostly out of the north and northwest, remain breezy, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with occasional gusts between 20 and 40. Low temperatures in the forecast for the Maritimes tonight will be mostly around the low to mid-teens. And here's a look at your highs for Saturday. Communities in the north of New Brunswick, high temperatures between 23 and 26. Down through central and southern areas of New Brunswick, 26 for Fredericton, St. Stephen, St. John, and then 24 degrees for Moncton in the southeast. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, high temperatures near 22 for Summerside and Cavendish, 23 degrees at Charlottetown, and then 20 at Surrey. So that's certainly going to be a little bit of a fresher feel to the summer air. People in Prince Edward Island probably wouldn't mind if those temperatures came up a few degrees, and same thing goes in Cape Breton. High temperatures tomorrow mostly between 21 and 25. Mid-20s for communities on the north shore of Nova Scotia. And on the eastern shore, most of the high temperatures between 23 and 25 degrees, including 25 at Sheet Harbour. 26 for Truro, 25 for Amherst. City centres Halifax and Dartmouth tomorrow near 26 and 26 for Lunenburg. In the Annapolis Valley, high temperatures near 26 degrees, 24 at Digby. On the south shore, 26 at Shelburne, and then a little bit cooler, 22 at Yarmouth. In the extended forecast for New Brunswick, Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud, but very similar high temperatures. Cools on Monday with increasing cloudiness, showers developing. A chance that some of those showers could hold over into Tuesday. That's followed by a mix of sun and cloud for Wednesday and Thursday of next week, and then a chance of showers on Friday. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, coming up on Sunday, fair weather day with a mix of sun and cloud. Showers expected to move in late in the day on Monday and be around for Tuesday with a chance that some showers could linger on Wednesday. Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud and a chance of showers on Friday. And for Prince Edward Island, that next round of showers coming in Monday night and is around for Tuesday. That's followed by a chance of showers on Wednesday of next week, a mix of sun and cloud on Thursday, and a chance of showers on Friday. Stephanie.
Thanks, Kaylin, and we'll check in with you a little bit later for the wake-up weather. But next, we'll talk about the latest releases with CTV film critic Richard Krause. Stay with us.
Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, and join us Monday for your chance to win a $100 gas card.
Yeah, that'll be at 7:30 in the morning. Good luck.
If you're looking for a break from the beach or maybe somewhere to cool off from the summer sun, look no further than the movie theater. To help guide us through all the new releases, we're joined now by CTV film critic Richard Krause. Thanks for chatting with us this evening, Richard.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So first up, we have a science fiction survival film wrapped in mystery called The End of Oak Street. Let's take a look.
Anybody else see that weird light last night?
What weird light?
The wind was blowing all crazy. Starbuck was freaked out and barking.
Could have been lights from a helicopter.
Or a UFO. Aliens.
This one stars Anne Hathaway, who has really been everywhere this year, Richard.
Oh, she's had 6 movies out this year, and this summer alone has had 2 blockbusters, The Devil Wears Prada 2 and The Odyssey, and maybe this one can be added to that list because it's a lot of fun. It is the movie that Steven Spielberg might have made in like the late 80s, early 90s if he had written down on his idea sheet Jurassic Suburb instead of Jurassic Park, because that's what this is. It's a family in the suburb. Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, their 2 kids. There's some tension inside the house. The family's not getting along all that well. And then one day there's a flash of light outside. They look out the window and dinosaurs are running up and down their street eating their neighbors. And so they, of course, have to try and figure out a way to survive. And that's it. That's what happens. There's no more to this movie than that. It is a summer popcorn movie that is just what it is. It's dinosaurs looking to have snacks of humans, and that is all. And it's a lot of fun. There are a couple of moments that are actually kind of shocking. There's a bunch of fun stuff that happens, and I think you'll probably laugh a little bit and have a good time with this. It's called The End of Oak Street. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and it's in theaters now.
Excellent. It looks great. Okay, next up we have the movie Tony, which is kind of an origin story for the late Anthony Bourdain. Let's take a look.
Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through the basic vision. It's a coming-of-age story. Excuse me, I need to speak with you.
Didn't you punch a hole in the principal's door?
You know, a lot's changed since high school. I'm a writer now.
Richard, this follows Bourdain's time in Provincetown in the 70s.
Yeah, so he's 19 years old here, and he is self-described, and this is how the movie starts. He is self-described as a spoiled, miserable, narcissistic, self-destructive, and thoughtless young lout, badly in need of a good butt-kicking. And that is the way that Dominic Sessa plays the young Tony Bourdain. He quit Vassar because they didn't give him money to go spend a year in New York writing the great American novel. So he goes to Provincetown, blows all his money, gets drunk, gets into fights, and ends up working in a restaurant, washing dishes, and starting a career that really would define the rest of his life, working in restaurants, first as a journeyman chef and then later as an author and obviously television host. But this isn't the Anthony Bourdain that we would see on Parts Unknown or his television shows. He's not a worldly guy. He is someone who is caught somewhere between being a kid and being an adult. And they do a great job of getting that aside. And the interesting thing about this movie is that Bourdain dominates pop culture. He's got such a big place, exalted place in popular culture, but they treat him here warts and all. And I think he probably would have wanted that. So Tony, now playing in theaters, gets 4 to 5 stars from me.
All right, this next one is one for the whole family. It's Paw Patrol, the Dino movie. Let's take a peek.
Oh, isn't this fun? Oh, I think I'm more of a land mammal. Brace for impact!
Definitely different dinos than the first movie there. Some big names are attached to this film as well.
Yeah, there are some big names here, like Snoop Dogg's in it and a few things. But really, this is just for the kids who want to see the Paw Patrol. And the Paw Patrol, if you have kids anywhere between the age of 3 or 4 to about 8 or 9, you already know what Paw Patrol is. It's a very popular television show. This is their 3rd spin-off movie. There's video games and all kinds of stuff. But the movies are bigger and sort of more action-packed than the television show. And I think kids will like it, but keep in mind, this is only aimed at kids. It's not like Shrek. It's not like Kung Fu Panda that would weave in pop culture references for the parents to get a little chuckle out of. This is aimed at kids. The characters, these heroic canines, are a lot of fun. The action is gently paced, perfect for the 3, 4 to 8 or 9 year age group. So I gave Paw Patrol, the Dino movie, 3 out of 5 stars. It's in theaters now.
All right, and finally, we have an experimental drugs lead to some pretty intense adventures in The Wrong Girls. Let's take a look at this one.
We should go. Trying to get us some kids. Yeah, it feels like time sensitive.
And Kristen Stewart stars in this film, Richard.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart and Alia Shawcraft, they play best friends. They're stoners. They're high all the time, so they forget to pay their rent, and they don't have any money. When Kristen Stewart is mistaken for someone else in a club and handed a briefcase filled with very powerful, very expensive drugs, they decide that that will be the end of their money problems. They're just going to sell all the drugs, except, of course, they have to try them first. And what ends up happening is they go on a psychedelic trip, unlike anything they've ever experienced before. They can read people's minds. All of a sudden, they have telekinesis. They can move things with their minds, and their cats talk to them. They can understand what their cats are saying, and the cats are voiced by Seth Rogen and Camille Nanjiani. They're very funny. And I didn't know Kristen Stewart could be this funny. She is hilarious in this movie. I've never seen her do comedy before. Really liked her performance here. And this movie is kind of laid back, kind of sloppy, kind of action-packed. It's a stoner movie with all the good and bad that embraces. And it kind of took me back in time to a time when movies like Half-Baked would be playing in movie theaters and people would line up to go see them. It's called The Wrong Girls. I give it 3 stars, and it's playing in theaters now.
Excellent. Definitely a lot to check out this weekend. Thanks for your time, Richard.
Thanks for having me.
That was CTV film critic Richard Krause. We'll take a short break now. Stay with us. In the Lifeline tonight, one Atlantic Canadian province is looking for public feedback on e-bike regulations. CTV's Amanda Debison has more.
Newfoundland and Labrador is seeking public comment on potential new rules for e-bikes and e-scooters. The consultation comes after a new report by the Canadian Pediatric Surveillance Program identified 10 child deaths involving such devices last year. Nova Scotia currently prohibits children under 14 from e-scooters and plans to match the age restriction for e-bikes this fall. Newfoundland and Labrador is also looking at changes around car seats, bike safety, and driving schools. Costco Canada is warning customers some yogurt products have been recalled because of mold. The Greek God's honey yogurt and organic yogurt plain items should not be eaten. If you purchased either of these products, you can return the yogurt to any Costco warehouse for a full refund. Relevant item numbers and best before dates of those products affected can be found on Costco.ca. Finally, your daily cup of tea may be doing more than helping you wake up or relax. It could be helping protect your bones. A recent study of nearly 10,000 women aged 65 and older suggests that tea drinkers may have a slightly higher bone density than those who don't drink tea. The study, published in the journal Nutrients, also found that moderate coffee intake doesn't seem to help or hurt bone health, but drinking 5 cups or more a day weaken bones. Experts say regardless of which hot beverage you enjoy, that's only one small piece of the bone health puzzle. Experts say it's more important to prioritize getting enough calcium and vitamin D and to do weight-bearing activities to keep your bones strong. With Health and Medical News, I'm Amanda Debison for the Lifeline.
We're on the scene. This weekend, Disney fans from all 50 states and 38 countries are converging in Anaheim for the 2026 celebration of D23, the ultimate Disney fan event. ABC's George Pinocchio went inside the Anaheim Convention Center tonight for a preview.
We have surprise after surprise pretty much every day.
The chief creative officer for Walt Disney Animation Studios thinks fans will be happy with what's coming their way. This November, we head into the world of witches with Hexed, which is on display at this convention.
This is Bucket over here. Bucket is a living, breathing cauldron. He becomes sort of a companion because it's almost like a little dog that follows her around.
Pixar is showing off a cat with Gato, one of its movies for next year. This year's convention is using almost 1 million square feet of space.
The bar gets raised every time we do this, and I think we love to exceed our fans' expectations, and I think we're going to do that this year for sure.
Disney's Imagineers are here detailing projects announced at the last convention 2 years ago.
We're showing off the progress of all of those projects, and there are projects all around the world.
Around the convention center, you can take part in immersive experiences, like a trip to the Grammys red carpet, or a visit to American Horror Story. Maybe pose with Paul Bettany's costume from the upcoming Disney Plus series Vision Quest, or be a part of Camp Rock 3. Hey, I tried. This 3-day affair features hundreds of things to do with more than 100 stars making appearances. And then there's the shopping. This year, more space for spending than ever before. Disney Consumer Products Global Creative Director Bobby Kim has a new item for Disney fans, but he says there's plenty here to love.
They've done some very irreverent takes on Disney IP and plush. There are trash cans from the parks that they've converted into stuffed animals. And there's also a character that I love. His name is Fuzzball.
In the end, it's all about the fans.
They all come here for the same reason, to celebrate their fandom. And they just have a good time doing it. They're having so much fun. This is their Super Bowl.
With everything going on here, I think we're in for an incredible weekend here at D23, the ultimate Disney fan event. In Anaheim, California, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
With Aaron and Peter.
10 questions, 60 seconds. If you know all the answers, you're winning $1,000.
We play $1,000 Minute every weekday at 7 a.m.
On the markets, the Dow ended the day down 107 points. Meanwhile, more turnover at the top level for Lululemon today. Another member of the executive team has left the company ahead of its September leadership reset. BNN Bloomberg's Lindsay Biscaya has more.
Lululemon's chief AI and technology officer has quit the job after less than a year in the role. Ranju Das was a member of the senior leadership team and the first executive at the company to hold that title. His exit hits during a broader leadership shakeup. Just days ago, Lululemon's chief strategy officer also walked away after 14 years with the brand. The exits add to concerns that the retailer's turnaround brand is still struggling to find its footing. The new CEO, Heidi O'Neill, is set to start in September, and Lululemon's stock has slumped more than 40% so far this year. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 72.06. West Texas Intermediate finished the day higher at 82.40 a barrel. Western Canadian Select was down to 63.55, and the TSX finished the day down as well, closing at 36,730 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
Time for one final look at the forecast, and we'll go out to the weather deck where Kaylin is certainly nicer this evening than last evening.
Yeah, it's very pleasant out here right now. There's still a few showers left around parts of the Maritimes. Those will continue to come to an end as we make our way through this evening and tonight. And then high pressure moving in for tomorrow is going to give a very sunny start to the weekend for all three maritime provinces. But let's take a look at our viewer picture for tonight. And we have had some unsettled conditions over the last couple of days, including thunderstorms, and Sheila Monroe has sent a picture here of a towering cumulus cloud. This looks like it's right on the verge of becoming a cumulonimbus, and that would be a thunderstorm. So I want to thank Sheila very much for capturing this picture. This was taken at Viewmount in the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia. Some of the thunderstorms yesterday were in the vicinity of the valley, but may not have quite made it all the way across some of the valley areas because some communities there reported some rainfall amounts as little as around 1 millimeter or 2. But Viewmount for tomorrow, beautiful day, sunshine, high temperature near 25 degrees. Day planner for tomorrow across the Maritimes, very sunny, almost fresh feeling summer morning across the region. Morning temperatures in the teens and low levels of humidity. And then, as I mentioned, with that high pressure building in from the west, it is going to be sunshine from the morning into and through the afternoon. A lot of high temperatures tomorrow around the mid-20s, low to mid-20s in a few areas, including Prince Edward Island, parts of Cape Breton, and some coastal areas of the region. Let's find out what's ahead next week on your Morning Atlantic.
Monday on your Morning Atlantic, Kent's August Big Bucket Giveaway Reveal.
We have had some great prizes so far this year, and they keep coming. We'll show you what you could win this month.
Start your morning with us Monday on your Morning Atlantic on CTV2 and Crave.
Finally for us tonight, a Golden Girls superfan just paid a small fortune for a piece of TV history. The straw handbag carried by Estelle Getty as Sophia Petrillo sold at auction for $192,000 this week. That's nearly 13 times its high estimate of $15,000. Getty personally found and picked out the purse while developing Sophia's character and carried it through all 7 seasons of the show. The same bag sold for just over $9,000 in 2009. This time, an anonymous buyer from West Virginia won the purse. It's now the most expensive Golden Girls prop ever sold by Julian's Auctions. And that will do it for us tonight. I'll be back here at 11:30 with your next newscast. But for local news anytime, you can always visit our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It's your home for news. We'll leave you now with some stunning scenes from Port Hood, Cape Breton, along with the names of everyone here who make our broadcast possible. Thanks for watching tonight, and have a great weekend.
CTV News, the Maritime's #1 newscast. Watch live on Crave.